This is around the world in 1 million days. Just kidding. In San Francisco. We're doing all the cultures in alphabetical order. And we reached this culture, Mexicans. The total population of natives of Mexico and their children in the Bay region is over 25,000. The old Mexican section, as old as San Francisco itself, is in North Beach, and many Mexicans still live there. But other Mexican colonies have grown up on the narrow streets south of Folsom between 5th and 8th Streets, about 10th and Howard Streets east of South Van Ness Avenue from 16th to 24th Streets. In Bayshore and Visitation Valley, and in Oakland, west of Broadway, and in East Oakland and San Leandro. There are also groups in Berkeley and Richmond. Mexican Americans are found in every kind of work, from the professional and businessmen, importers, mining engineers, and landowners, all the way to unskilled laborers and migratory workers. In between are many skilled workers, auto mechanics, taxi drivers, sugar refinery workers, musicians in mambo bands, stockyard attendants. It's doing really heavy traffic right now. I know it's like a little bit loud. So musicians and stockyard attendants and assembling line workers. The two important Mexican fiestas are Cinco de Mayo, which honors the victory of the Mexicans over the army of Napoleon III on the 5th of May, which honors the victory of the Mexicans over Napoleon III in 1862, and the 15th and 16th of September are the Independence Days. Ancient mystery plays called posadas are performed for 2 weeks before Christmas. Just before dawn on December 12th, Mexican musicians from the cantinas of North Beach gather before the Church of Our Lady of Guadalupe and serenade the Virgin with mañanitas and alabados, medieval hymns in honor of the Mother of God and the morning stars. Among the large number of Spanish-speaking people about the Bay region should be mentioned several thousand Spanish-Americans from New Mexico, descendants of the Spanish settlers of 300 years ago. Now in the 12th generation, they differ considerably from Mexican Americans. Their speech is that of 15th century Spain and not the lilting Mexican Spanish. They are likely to be of direct Spanish descent with little or no Indian admixture their folkways, still flourishing, are in direct line from those of colonial Spain. So their folkways are in direct line from Spain. New Mexico is the last arid place of the ancient Spanish art forms that have become extinct in Spain. The religious folk theater, the decima, and the fine carpet and blanket weaving and wood carving. These people call themselves Hispanos, but here in California, they frequently associate with Mexicans in clubs and public places. Hispanos, so from New Mexico. Churches: Our Lady of Guadalupe, 908 Broadway. It says, in Mexican neighborhoods, the churches arrange special services in Spanish, and missionary priests are often on hand. Chapel of Cristo Rey, 721 Parker Avenue. I used to live on Parker Avenue as well. St. Charles Borromeo, South Van Ness Avenue and 18th Street. St. Joseph, 10th and Howard Street. St. Peter, Alabama and 24th Street. St. Mary, 7th and Jefferson in Oakland. Organizations: Centro Mexicana, 3378 24th Street. Mexican Civil Committee, and Maldonado, 107 5th Street. La Guadalupana, 908 Broadway. Mexican Legion, 84 Carl Street. Sociedad Mutualista Mexicana, Chapultepec, 3249 Mission Street. Sociedad Mutualista Mexicana Morales, South San Francisco. Mexican Athletic Club, 1318 Kansas Street. Centro Cultural Hispano-Americano, 1926 Folsom Street. In Alameda County, Alianza Hispano-Americana, 814 Kennedy Street in Oakland. Club Azteca, 1272 8th Street in Oakland. Bookshops: Sanchez and Cia, 2130 Mission Street. Nuestra America, 621 Broadway. La Idea Music Shop, 724 7th Street in Oakland. Restaurants: Dorsola, 1237 Polk Street. Xochimilco, 1350 Powell Street. Mexico City Grill, 2839 Mission Street. La China Poblana, 1004 University Avenue in Berkeley. So that's that. The next one is Negro. There have been a few freedom of color and some escaped slaves in the early days of San Francisco. Freedmen of color. But not until the transcontinental radio was finished in 1870 did Negroes come into the Bay region in any great numbers. Railroad employees and Pullman porters laid the foundations of the Negro section in Oakland, which by the turn of the century was the largest in the West. San Francisco had only a few thousand until the industrial expansion of the war days. San Francisco's first Negroes settled in North Beach and Russian Hill. In the beginning of this century, they began to move to the western addition, and after the fire of 1906, a distinctly Negro neighborhood was formed along Post, Sutter, Bush, and Pine Streets west of Divisadero. When the Japanese were evacuated in 1942, Negroes moved into the vacant houses. How funny. These two sections are now the chief Negro quarters, but there are other smaller groups along the waterfront in South Park in the housing projects of Hunters Point and Bayview. The large Negro section in Oakland has tripled in population, and the whole of West Oakland north to 50th Street is thoroughly Negro. The Negro population of Oakland is now 47,000. Wow, that's a lot. And an increase of over 450% from 8,000 in 1940. In San Francisco, the increase has been from 4,000. Yeah. In San Francisco, the increase has been from 4,800 in 1940 to 43,000 in 1950. So that's a big increase, like almost, it says 800%. There are other large sections in Richmond and Berkeley let me see, Richmond, Berkeley, and San Mateo County, and the total population of the Bay region is over 50,000. So the other large sections in Richmond, Berkeley, and San Mateo County, and the total population. Okay, so 50,000 approximately in the Bay region. Negroes have been moving into white neighborhoods for several years and there is hardly a section of the city that does not have at least one Negro family. In the section between the two chief Negro neighborhoods, between Fillmore and Divisadero Streets, from California to Fulton Street, a great cosmopolitan neighborhood has grown up. The Negro and the white man, Orientals of many sorts, East Indians, West Indians, and American Indians, live amicably side by side. There are many interracial families there, and it is truly San Francisco's melting pot. It is along those streets in West Oakland, west of Market Street, and so in West Oakland, north of San Pablo Avenue, and then northwest into Berkeley and into the old western addition of San Francisco in the streets west of Octavia, that one finds the world of the American Negro, a world emerging from the darkness of discrimination and poverty, a world of frustration and of hope. It is a world of deep spiritual emotions and simple faith, at times bitter, at times historically joyous, and the world of healing services, spirituals and blues, of bebop, jive talk, of fish fries and barbecued ribs, and hot chitterlings and sweet potato pie. Hot chitterlings? What exactly are hot chitterlings? like wings or something. The sudden invasion of thousands of Negroes all at once was bound to produce incidents, but San Francisco's traditional tolerance kept them at a minimum. Thousands of Negroes live in substandard homes, and there have been incidents of job discrimination, but recent fair employment laws and low-rent housing developments have improved their lot. And it is perhaps no exaggeration to say that Negroes are more thoroughly integrated than in any other American city. The growing number of Negroes in the professions, I feel funny saying Negroes, I don't know why. I don't think I ever used that word. But in the profession, the growing number is an encouraging sign. There are physicians, dentists, lawyers, teachers, librarians, musicians, everything pretty much. Hundreds are state and federal job holders, especially in post office and veterans administration. Over one half are ordinary laborers, longshoremen and warehousemen, construction workers and skilled workers, hotels, restaurants, laundries. 1/4, that's about half, and then 1/4 are in industry, chiefly machine operators, molders. Others are bus drivers, janitors, porters, domestics, marine cooks, stewards, etc. In Oakland, they are railroad and dock workers in shipyards and assembly plants. Information about Negroes can be obtained from Negro newspapers and from the offices of the two most influential Negro organizations, which have branch offices called the National Association for the Advancement of for the Advancement of Colored People, and the Urban League, also from the Negro Yearbook published by the Tuskegee Institution. So the National Organization for the Advancement of Colored People and the Urban League. Churches: San Francisco, Protestant, 3rd Baptist, 1399 McAllister Street, First AME Zion Church, 1669 Geary Street, Bethel AME, 916 Laguna Street, Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, 1540 Post Street, Jones Methodist, 1975 Post Street, St. Cyprian Episcopal, Southern Line Street, Roman Catholic, St. Benedict the Moor, 2891 Bush Street, Alameda County, Protestant, St. Augustine Episcopal, 2624 West Street in Oakland, Cooper AME Zion Church, 1423 Myrtle Street in Oakland, First American Methodist, 819 15th Street, Progressive Missionary Baptist, 1712 Aquitas Avenue in Berkeley, North Oakland Baptist, 1050 632nd Street in Oakland, Father Divine Peace Mission, 733 Market Street in Oakland, St. Paul's AME Church, 2024 the Ashby Street in Berkeley. Organizations: National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, 690 Market Street, National Urban League, 2015 Steiner Street, Hannibal Lodge, Masonic, 1933 Divisadero Street, MG Sons of Light, Masonic, I'm not sure what Masonic means, 1739 Fillmore Street, comment if you know. Queen Ada Chapter, Eastern Star, 1739 Fillmore Street, Shasta Lodge, IVPOE, Elk, 1933 Divisadero Street. I got the Elk Scholarship in towards my college tuition. Booker T. Washington Center, 800 Presidios Avenue, California Colored Voters Democratic Club, 1355 Ellis Street. I think I got elk for $4,000. They were giving me $1,000 per year, scholastic year for college. Alameda. Oh wait, and then I skipped one. California Colored Voters Democratic Club. Wow, that's a lot of traffic. Oh my god. 1355 Ellis Street, Cosmos Social Club. Okay. Then Alameda County National Association for Advancement Colored People, 1136 8th Street in Oakland. Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, 1716 7th Street in Oakland. Dining Car Cooks and Waiters Union, 1757 7th Street in Oakland. And Mishpa Temple Masonic, 1219 8th Street in Oakland. MVMT Nebo Masonic, 967th Street in Oakland. Athens Lodge IBPOE Elks, 1219 8th Street in Oakland. YWCA 828 Linden Street in Oakland. Northwest Branch YMCA 3265 Market Street in Oakland. South Berkeley YMCA 290 California Street in Berkeley, California. Publication, San Francisco Independent, Weekly Non-Political, 1471 Turk Street, Sun Reporter, Weekly Democratic, 1471 Post Street, California Voice, Weekly Publication, 2624 San Pablo Avenue in Oakland. Then restaurants, Jack's Dining Room, 1931 Sutter Street, The Plantation, 1628 Post Street, and Alia Washington's Creole Restaurant, 2106 Sacramento Street in Berkeley. Those sound yummy.
Can I have some mashed potatoes and gravy? And some chicken?
So thank you guys. My page is facebook.com yosalplay, YOSALLPLAY. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!